Hey guys, Neff here. Thanks for joining me. Today we're going to be looking at the ASSA Twin 2, which is a pretty cool lock that I ended up getting overseas. I haven't seen a ton of them. I hear they're a little bit more rare. They aren't like the Twin 6000s that you would see. You can see the bitting looks a little bit different. I do have a Twin 6000 key here. You can see how it has that set bitting for each sidebar pin. This is more like what I would see on V10, something like that. And actually, the side pins, or I don't know what they are because I haven't gutted it yet, sliders or whatever, feel a lot more like a V10, to be honest. So it's gonna be pretty cool. And I assume, based on what I feel, that it has barrel drivers in it. But I've been surprised before because I'm not perfect. So we'll go ahead and see what's inside of it. We'll get her chucked up in the vise. I'll show you this because it doesn't turn left in here. So I used to be able to turn this to the left and kind of push the key up because this key's just really used up. Oh, nope, I got it. So that'll work as long as I do that. But it will turn right. It just won't turn left on its own unless I turn from back here and flip the key over to the right. So it's just been used up pretty heavily. So we'll go ahead and kick her into the vise and see how it goes. Alrighty guys, we got her locked up here. Let's take a look at what we're going to be using today. Slightly wider than normal insert wiper insert for tension. We got the lock speaker. We have 25 thousandths medium hook cut with the laser, cleaned up with a Dremel. We got Dremeled out wiper insert, rounded off flag for the side pins, and that's that. No lock cam today. The core wanted to be weird about it, and plus this keyway is so wild you can't actually even set up the cam to view the top stack and the side pins at the same time, which is just wild. Let's get that speaker in there. Let's get the focus back on track. All right, now I am reaching over the top of my camera mount, so I apologize if you end up with some weird camera shaking, but let's get her started. Heavy tension. The first 3 pins are very, very high lift, so we just kind of just bump them up. Most of the time they don't click even. They just go loose. So 1, 2 is loose, 1 and 2 is loose, 3. All right, now let's get some stuff started for some click action. Good click on 5. Let's check 6. Good click on 6. Major concern with this lock is oversetting. So I can't be mean to it like I am with ASSA locks that have barrels in them. Usually I can be really mean to those and just slam away. I've never really had a major overset issue, but yeah, this one, that's what held me up. It took me a long time to finish this lock specifically because of that. So we just kind of go through and do it with some finesse. And we get, like, for anybody who does a lot of these barrel equipped locks, you get a click and a click and a click, but it's not all at once. So I might go 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and I get a click each time as we're trying to get those barrels out of the milling. As I was talking there, we got to click on 2, 3, and 1. Nothing left on those for a minute anyway. Checking 4, nothing on that. And this lock is pretty used up, so I think that's why it's so easy to overset. I don't know if like the chambers have, widened out over time or rounded off edges on stuff just from extensive use, but I've never gutted it either, so I don't know what it looks like inside. Good click on 3. Love those nice audible clicks. Working on 2. Good click on 2. That was beautiful. Let's check 1. It's all the way up in there, so it's one of the hardest ones to deal with because we go straight up at it pretty much. I think I might have snuck 1 up in there already. If I did, that's lucky. Yeah, 1's feeling pretty good. So 2. Now, the more of them that set, the meaner I can get, because the more core rotation we've gotten, the less chance there is of bumping a key pin up in there, but I still have to be careful. Now here's where it gets hairy. the jiggle test is a little weird on this one because I think the milling's been kind of ate up over the years, so stuff just kind of falls a little bit down, not into the milling, but just a little bit down to where you kind of just have to keep bumping away on everything, and then it works eventually. So 3, does 3 need to go up? No, I don't think so. Oh, huge click on 2. That was beautiful. All right, I think that one went. Checking 1 just in case, because things do drop in this one, even if the core doesn't rotate back. I'm telling you, man, these this usually, as a lock gets more and more used up, for me, the harder it gets, because pins start to act semi-tapered, and all kinds of weird stuff happens because of it. One of the hardest locks I ever picked was a Dom X10 finned that I got from my friend Rain over in the Netherlands, I think he lives. I don't think it's Germany. I think I just finally picked it, and I've had it for 3, 4 months, 5 months, and I've picked Twin Stars, which are way higher than Dom X10s, but because that lock had been used a lot over the years, the pins get really tapered, and you just have to keep bumping away at them, like you're watching me do right now. For all I know, I could be ready to do the sidebar on this, and there could be one pin that just catches the barrel, the lip catches in the milling. So you hear that? Well, actually, that stopped. So those clicks were, it didn't need to get picked out of milling. It was just literally barely catching. So I think we're actually good to go. We're going to give it a shot. And that's the other thing with this lock is, we went out of focus. That's another thing with this lock is it doesn't give you that like harsh turn, that kind of false set where you go, oh, it's time to work on the sidebar. You just have to eventually get a little bit, and then it's time to go. So yeah, I am getting binding, so I think we're good to start on it. So we are starting on pin 2. I am easing up way on my tension. And I think we set 2. I didn't really get a click, but it's because I eased up so much. I'm just trying to feel if it's jiggling or not. I'm having a hard time telling. I might let it drop. Okay, I eased up on the tension. Let's check that again. Yeah, there we go. I think we're getting a good jiggle on 2. Let's check 3. Little click. 4. Nothing. Let's go to 5. So the reason I use this rounded flag on this is there are like little fingers that come out, but I like to hook into the chamber that it's in, and it feels like it gives me a little bit more leverage on it. And then I can really feel what I'm doing with the jiggle test so much easier. Just having some trouble aiming. There we go. Alright, yeah, I had way overdone it on 2. So I just let that drop. Let's kind of start fresh here again. Good click on 2. Good jiggle. Checking 3. Good click on 3. Good, another click on 3 and a good jiggle. Checking 4, nothing on 4. Checking 5, nothing on 5. Let's go back. Check 1. Nothing really. 2 fell out of its gate. All right, release some tension, bumped it up 1 more, get a nice jiggle on 2. Nice jiggle on 3. which also fell out of its gate. There we go. A little bit of tension in the back here. That was a good click on 5, which needs to go up a little bit more. So we're going to try and do that now. I think we got a good jiggle on 5. We'll see. Bumped 1 up a little bit. Getting a good jiggle on 1. Good jiggle on 2. Not on 3. 3 is pretty low, and it likes to jump its gates. So we're going to go nice and easy and try and get just 1 gate up. I think we got it, but I did hear something drop, which is fine. That was 1, and I think 2 even. Two's good. 3's good. All right, that was 5 getting back into its gate because it fell out. We're going to do 4 now. So on this, what helps me, because it has fingers that come out, is I won't go in flat. I'll go in tipped up a little bit, and then it'll catch on the finger, and then I can go down just a little bit under it, and then I know I'm under it. So that's how I feel around in here. Working on 1. Back up into its gate. 1's good. 2's good. 3's good. 4 is not. Let's check 5 just to be sure. Alright, so 4 needs bumped just a little bit. Come on, baby. Don't overdo it. There we go. 4 is where it needs to be. Four is where it needs to be. 5's where it needs to be. We are almost there. Five. Ooh, 5 needs to go a little bit higher. Come on, baby. Ooh. This sidebar bites hard, so. Yep, it's biting hard again. 4 dropped when I did 5, so just fixing all that up. Usually 1 drops a little bit out of its gate, and that's like at the end of it. I'll bump 1 just a little bit, and the whole thing just pops, so 5's good. 4's good. 3's good. 2's good. Let's do it. No? A little bit more on 1. Wait, no. 1's good. 2's good. 3's good. There it went. 4 was just need a little bit bump. All right, we made it, guys. I'll be honest, I did a lot of takes with this lock, and I am glad to finally have gotten it for y'all. So I'm excited to see what's inside of it, and let's go ahead and get her gutted. Alrighty, guys, let's see what we got going on here. Let's get some tweezers. So obviously the main issue with those click-clacks was not the fact that the milling was used up, which it might be. We'll take a look at it. Or I don't mean used up, but just heavily used. It was these master wafers would have been a big part of it. So one thing that ASSA does with their master wafers is they have this edge to them that makes them just like the barrel spools, which I think is kind of cool because what that does is, you know, usually when you have master wafers in a system, it makes it a lot easier to pick. While when you have a master wafer like that, you don't completely negate the issue with the barrel spool. You've now actually added more serrations or spool feeling, depending on how big the wafer is feeling, if you catch what I mean there. So yeah, that must be what that was, even though I know I felt it on 5 and 6, which don't have it. So let's take a look in the milling here. Try and make sure it gets focused real good. All right. Actually, it has really great milling, based on what I'm seeing through the camera lens here. Let's feel it with a pick and see. No, I want something a little bit pointier. Oh no, that's hardcore sharp milling. This is great milling. So it's not that it was used up. It could be that the edges have been rounded out a little bit from use, maybe that. But no, I mean the milling's pretty hardcore. It was just a really hard lock. That's all, you know. So nice brass core with drill protection in it, as you can see. There is our sidebar chamber, which actually it looks like there's a drill protection bar there too. Oh yeah, you can see. There it is installed. So we have that. Let's take a look at the sidebar real quick, and then we'll look at the barrels and these side pins. All right, that's a pretty solid sidebar. It doesn't look rounded off on, well, no, I mean, it's fine, but yeah, I can tell it's been used pretty heavily. The key is more used up than anything else, though. There's our sidebar springs. Just to show you guys, there are springs for all the pins. They're all there. Nothing crazy going on in the body, the lock body. Now, on this, if I recall right, yeah, so it does it through the sidebar. So all these are the same, and you have your gate and your, I guess it isn't a finger that comes out. It's just, oops, sorry. It's just the edge of the pin. So I was wrong. It doesn't have a finger that comes out. It's just has a shelf. So what I'm seeing in the lock is that shelf right there. And then once I get it lifted up a little bit, then I'm able to get up. And I guess I'm pushing on that, which feels a little bit easier with my flags. But you can see your serrations for the false gates and then the very deep true gate. Good springs for that as well. And our barrels, let's take a look at this one, because I think this is a pretty old lock. So I should have brought a current factory barrel to compare it with, but these look like the older ones that have like a much sharper edge to them. The newer ones to me are a lot softer. I don't think it really changes that much, but it does change the feel a little bit, and that's probably what I was feeling in there. So, alrighty, that's what we got. So that is the ASSA Twin 2. Let's show the key here. Oh, and I want to show you that keyway. So here's that crazy keyway. It has that shelf that comes out, and then it has that undercut there. So when I was trying to video it from behind, look at that. You can only put the camera here for the top stack or down here for the side vid. So there was no way that anybody was going to be able to see anything decent with a lock cam. I'm just trying to put the key in to see kind of how it looks there. Not bad. So that is the ASSA Twin 2. Barrels, side pins a lot like a V10 if I remember right, but I'll be doing another V10 in the future here to see and compare against. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, or feedback, I'm happy to hear it, fellas. Y'all have a great day.